Alright then, so in this video I just want to show you quickly how to work with click events, because click events are one of the most popular events that you'll work with in a React application. Everyone's always clicking things on a website and you want to react to that event. So it's dead simple to do in React. What I'm going to do is create a button, and by the way, you'll notice I've stripped back a lot of the code from the last lecture, so we don't have that random number or date or the link, and we just have the title and subtitle. Underneath those, we'll create that button, and this button is going to say click me. Now I want to attach some kind of click handler to this, and to do that all I have to do is say on and then click, and this is camel case, so click starts with a capital letter, and this is the same for all event handlers in the future. If you had some other kind of event like double click, it would start with on and then it would be whatever the event name is, and we'll see more of those events later on in the course. For now, let's just stick with on click, and then we set it equal to something. Now we want to set it equal to something dynamic because we want to fire a function, a JavaScript function, when this onClick event happens. So if it's something dynamic, then it has to be curly braces that we set it equal to. And then we can create a function up here. First of all, let me do that. I'm going to call this handle click, set that equal to an arrow function, and then inside that function we can do something. Okay, and by the way, this is a naming convention that you'll see quite a lot in React applications. Handle and then whatever the event is. So in this case, handle click. But now what I can do is I can reference this function right here down inside this on click. So if I reference the function, it means, look, when you click this button, I want you to fire this handle click function that we declared up outside of the return statement. That's important. We don't declare the function inside the return statement. This is just for the template itself. Any logic goes outside of the return statement, like these kind of functions. Okay, now we don't invoke it right here because then what's going to happen is this is going to be automatically invoked when the code is first run, because it's going to get to here, it's going to look at this and just invoke it because that's what we're doing. We're putting parentheses after it. We just want a reference to the function so that after we click it, then it invokes it. All right. So let's do something inside this function. So I'll say console.log, you clicked me, like so. All right. And also we can access these different variables or constants inside here as well. So I could say console.log, and I'll say the site title is, and then colon, and then a comma after this to output dynamically the title like so. All right then, so if I save this now, this should all work. We'll preview this in a browser. All right, so we can see that button right here. If we open up the console, I'm going to click on this and we should see, yep, this logged to the console and also the site title, which is welcome to my website. So this has all worked. We've clicked on this and it's fired that handle click function, which has logged these to the console. So we also get access to an event object inside this handler function, and that's for any handler function for any event. If we reference a function in reaction to some kind of event, then we automatically get access to the event object, which contains information about that event that just occurred. In our case, it's going to be the click event. So I could then say down here console.log, and we'll just output the event object. Save this. And now in the browser, when I click on this, we can see this event object as well. If we expand that, there's loads of information about the event, loads of different properties, the client X and Y properties, whether the control key was clicked or pressed rather, any kind of movement properties, screen X, screen Y, etc. So you can use all of this information in your JavaScript function about the event if you wanted to. Now, one more thing I wanted to show you that you're going to see quite often in React applications is how to use inline functions instead of functions that are declared up here outside of the template. So let me comment this out, and to do that, highlight it all, then Control and /, and then down here, let me delete this reference, and instead what we're going to do is pass an inline function into this directly. So this is just a normal arrow function, right, that's inline. It doesn't have a function name in front of it or anything like that, but it is just an arrow function. The parentheses for any arguments, then the arrow, and then the code block right here. Now we're not invoking this function. This is again just a function reference, and it's going to fire this function then whenever we click on this button. So inside these, I could do something. Now I could say console.log and output something. So I could say hello, and that would just log out hello. But what if I want access to the event object? Well, just like this function up here got access to the event object, this function also gets access to the event object. So I could output that as well right here, and that's going to work. Now, a lot of the time, if it's just one line of code like this, what I do is I bring this back up and have it on this line right here, like so. And because it's one line as well, we don't technically need these curly braces. We can just take those away, and this works exactly the same way. And this is the kind of pattern you'll see quite frequently when we have click events in a template. Just an inline function without the curly braces, which returns one line of code. All right. So let's give this a whirl in the browser. So now if we click this, we should just see the event object, and we do. Awesome. So there we go, my friends. That's how we can work with click events in React Components. Again, we're going to see a lot more of this and other events as we go forward. This was just kind of an introduction video to them.